Hello and welcome back to the channel on another Fiesta episode, twin engine Mach 5 Fiesta pickup project. It is quite a mouthful. In the last episode we installed this engine with plenty of ease. If you haven't seen it, go check it out, it's worth it. And in this episode we are basically going to try to reconnect everything to our engine and get it started again. Started perfectly every time in the donor car, so there is no reason that it wouldn't start in here. It's just a question of can we plug everything correctly. Anyway, let's get to it. One thing we are going to need is obviously fuel, and for now, as we won't have an engine at the front, I'm basically going to reuse the fuel tank from the donor car and install it here at the front. Just wanted to test fit the cyst quickly, but if I line in that guy, none of the other won't follow. Here it's actually in a hole as well, doesn't touch the ground, and yeah, basically the same, the seat touch. So the seat are going to go back into it. Alright, it's in there, zip tie for now. Fuel line are connected here, and they run all the way back. And are connected to the engine, the little white and red there. Another day, I have actually removed the system on the wiper, that way I can put them on Fiesta. Got rid of the dryer, huh? The loom fun begins. There's a fair bit, and that's just one part of the loom. There's obviously the loom that is mostly for the engine. So what I'm going to do is essentially replug everything, just like that. Then I can figure out what I need, what I don't need. I know this one, there is a couple of places where they at. Here we go. So those were from the doors. There is two like that. So I know for sure that at least all those cables I've chopped I can remove from the loom. But yeah, so I think to a lot of extent this is fuel. So if this is fuel, this is basically the back tail light and stuff like that. Obviously this need to go at the rear, whereas this need to go at the front at the moment. So I'm basically going to remove what I can remove, remove all the tape, and basically see if I can reshape it the way it is, or where needed we will have to build some extension. But as we are going to remove plenty of cable, I'll be able to reuse some of the cables I've removed where I need to do extension, so at least we know gauge and stuff like that can be all the same basically. Crap, I wasn't careful when I moved the car. I actually crushed a plug. Hopefully find out it's a plug we don't need. Airbag loom, it was actually separate. Could just unplug it from the rest. Now I've got all that crap plug in as well. The one I've crushed was actually okay, it's for that. And then if you look, I remember those were actually attached to the windscreen. We've got another one here, and they're going to a relay. So basically all that stuff there, I can unplug that, and that's essentially a windscreen heater. Take the relay out and push, that's another bit gone. And then obviously we'll have to remove all of those. Okay, we're getting there. All of that is air control, central stuff. Door sensor, I might keep them just in case we don't want light on the instrument cluster. Plenty of ground everywhere. That is windscreen wiper, you know, the psh 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 and stuff like that. Alright, that's this loom done. I've put some tape on so that way they don't turn into a mess. We will need to still wrap them up better, but you know what I mean, at least they won't get muddled up. Here I've left it like that. When everything is in the car, I'll know where to wrap it around properly. But yeah, looking good. I think now what I might do is actually just shove that in the car so I can plug the barrel and stuff like that, and then I can leave the loom on the floor of the car for now, and then can get the other one out and start stripping down. Alright, so we've got all that stuff connected with that stuff. Cables going to the back. We've got the stuff popped out for the water bottle and the washing up liquid. This could actually fit quite nicely. I mean, I'll have to package all of that obviously, so it's not in the way. And on the engine side, it seems like the only thing that's actually plugged at the back that we need to worry about is the sensor on the exhaust. That's only 4 wire, so it will be easy to extend. And if the main loom, instead of going that way and towards the front, I make it come that way in the middle, I can connect it to the fuse box that connect to everything else. Actually, I think there will be more because that guy and that guy are for the headlight. So when I clean it up, I'll have to route it back. I don't know, there's quite some length to it, so we'll see how much forward we can go, because essentially the controls are here, so if one of the relays is here, could even move it further down the line, but in theory that should have some cable in there, and then link up to those. Alright, so did notice one mistake. Here, only got the cable for the sensors, not the indicators. On the other side, there is a plug for the indicators. So I wonder if those two cables are nullified. Where's the indicators? If it's that, at least it'll be an easy fix. Everything else is looking good though, so. And Saturday it is. Finished all the loom yesterday. Just need 2 patches today. You can see I've got all my stuff out. So I'm going to do that, get Fiesta out, and then basically we can start putting everything in. You can put all the wiring, and then we can look at vacuum pump, coolant, and all that good stuff. Okay, most of the loom is in. Here I'm working. Basically what I've done is that fuel line, replaced it, which means the hard line can be pushed further to the back because they were a bit tight over there. Extracted that stuff from the donor car, the stuff that goes there, and basically we need to route that all the way back to that little hole there. I need to find something to shove in there and extract. And then the back, those 2 pipes that were going into the wall, as I wasn't sure how to loop them for the minute, I took out where they go into the wall and basically loop them back. But yeah, at some point ideally we want a bit of pipe so we can connect it, route it directly, and do a cleaner job. But at the moment the point is just to try to get it running, so quick win. Alright, exhaust plug extended, make it nice and white so I can go around, and it's actually all the same color that they were on there, so color coded. Quick pipe, pop to all forward, all for it, brake and clutch, coolant, and here I grabbed this because I couldn't find anything to kind of connect this bit here with that bit here, which isn't connected to here, so I thought I might as well put a new one, because those ones, as you can see, are long enough anyway. Airbox is plugged in, so once I've sorted that, I think we are all good for the electronics. And yeah, I still have the vacuum pump I keep talking about, but yeah, it's basically then vacuum, put the radiator on the fan, put some liquid in it, and yeah, connect the battery, and see what happens. Right, clutch is done. A bit dodgy because basically normally I need another end of this, but you've got to make, where did I put my, yeah, basically one of those guys to put there. But the trouble is I've got the pipe, I mean that is too small anyway for this pipe, so that's not even the same diameter as this. And yeah, those you need a special tool to kind of do the indent, so I've just tied it up like that. It's actually like pretty loose in there anyway, you know, like normally it's just unplugged nicely, so I can't imagine there is that much pressure in it. But anyway, we should see. Right, we have, well, makeshift vacuum line, as you can see. Here I need a special connector. What I need is probably to reorder one of those pipe, and then basically, because yeah, see, basically that's the end of it, and this is like a little washer at the end to keep it nice and sealed. But yeah, because it broke right there and the stuff that pop out, couldn't put it back in. But if I reorder the pipe, what I can do is I can reattach the pipe, and then where the little one-way valve is where I'll be able to continue my wash line. But anyway, I'm not going to be able to find one over the weekend. That's the trouble with all cars like that, they don't find it easy. Like today I popped to Alford's, they didn't have an oil filter for those, so keeping the old oil filter for now, because I'm having issues setting up the pulley in there, like few millimeter hitting the subprime. I thought maybe I didn't do those tight enough, and look, bloody snapped. Oh, that's going to be that's your engine mount, which means there is literally just one bolt on that side keeping the whole thing up, and it's like properly snapped, so getting that out is going to be a nightmare. Alright, stupid pulley is in, still have to put the belt, but yeah, basically the reason why the pulley didn't want to come in is because here at the mount there is some adjustment. I noticed the marking were different, and basically it was slightly more this way. But yeah, at least it's on now. I just need to manage to put enough pressure on the tensioner pulley to be able to bend it around, but otherwise I've also extended, if you can see it over there, our cable here. So basically the only cables I have yet to sort out, and like we talk about this one there for the wiper control, I don't have a windscreen yet, so probably want to put a windscreen before we do that. But yeah, that one is basically routed all the way here and then all the way over there, so I can just trace it, and then I'll have enough length for the front. There we go, the stupid belt is on, but was that a pain in the neck. Basically what I ended up doing is ratchet on the pulley, pull it to the max, and then with some rope hold it in place. Otherwise it's pretty impossible to hold the pulley on to the stuff on the other side. And it's not too bad once you've got a couple of slip on. You just turn it as you go. But yeah, this is why you don't use the top of your car as a work surface, because obviously I had that stuff, everything slided down, and as you can see, look, lovely dent all the way down up to the bonnet. Basically screwed my bonnet over. Moving that bit, I managed to bash the door as well. Alright guy, moment of truth. I've got a blinker on. I've got the other blinker on, so at least that's working. airbag light, that's normal. Alright, you just press the clutch just in case. Oh, I don't think it's in gear, but better safe than sorry. Alright. We didn't start though, did we? If we try again. Can you hear stuff priming? Okay, another day, fresh mind, and I remembered that in order most of the cables for the fuel pump were good enough when stressed to go from the top, apart that I had to chop a ground that was landing here but wasn't actually connected. So here I've connected it. So guessing it should start. I still haven't connected the throttle, but first I want to see if it starts. I've got the handbrake on. I believe it's in neutral, but we'll find out. I don't know if you can see, but yeah, looks like it was on the low side, so we'll give that a bit of a go. But yeah, I mean that will make sense, right? No ground, no fuel pump. So hopefully when that is a bit charged, it'll be okay. And what I'm going to do while it does that, sort out the throttle cable. Alright, so while it was charging, I've started to install back the wipers. Unfortunately though, the bottle for the PUMA doesn't fit this one. We've got both the same hole there. It can go through here, but unfortunately the shape of the bottle is like that, which goes against that, which then push it further, which then it doesn't align. So alright, one more try. Yeah, there is that button there. I don't know whether it's supposed to be pressed, not pressed. It wasn't pressed in the car, but I thought I'll try with pressed. Alright, it's running. Can't run it long though, because obviously no exhaust, so it's super loud. But it works, and so does the throttle. Alright guys, so yeah, I'm going to call this episode here. The goal was very much to put this guy in and get it up and running. And for a lot of you out there that do this on a weekly basis or are proper mechanic and stuff, doesn't sound like a lot, but to me it was quite a lot. First engine swap, all on my own without hoist. The loom, like I went through the loom big time, chopped everything, and apart from the door sensors that don't seem to work, and the passenger indicator up chopped by mistake, everything else in the loom works perfectly, and like literally I don't have any cables that are not being used. So I shaved off probably like 2-3 kilograms of wire as well. But yeah, I can't run it. I thought I wanted for straight pipe, but like it's so loud when it first starts. I mean, when it starts idling on its, warm, it got better, but yeah, I might have to sort out a little muffler for this for when I want to start driving around with it. But in the next episode, we can sort out gear linkage and actually drive this thing and do a lot of cleanup as well. It's a bit airbox and stuff like that. It's a big makeshift. The radiator, obviously, we don't want it there. The airbox, we don't want it there, and all that crap. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching. If you're enjoying this series, and you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. A lot more coming, like I said. Next one, I will be driving it. And yeah, see you in the next one, guys. Bye.